welcome everybody to Simply Cyber's cybersecurity daily threat briefing. First things first, my name is Gerald Auger, and in the next 30 minutes, we're going to be tearing apart the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. But first, I want to shout out our sponsor, Barricade Cyber Solutions, your partner for incident response, ransomware protection, and business recovery. Eric Taylor and the gang over there, they're always doing good work. But if you're having a if you're having a ransomware incident, everything's on fire, you might want to call Eric and have him help you out. Good morning, everybody. Let's get some roots going. Listen to me. I am so ready for this cup of coffee. Again, haven't had the first sip, so you guys get to indulge in that. I've been working with the video here, so hopefully that all works out. Guys, if you're watching on replay and you want to get right to the stories, right to the news, 2 minutes, 37 seconds. When that ticker gets to 0, that's when we dive in. But until then, we're going to welcome everybody, do a couple little shout outs. What's up, Anna Lynn, Peter Parker? Great show last night. Thank you, Peter Parker. I agree 100%. Guys, we had John Strand on last night. If you are interested in getting unbelievable training on SOC core skills, Security Operations Center, SOC Analyst, Blue Team, AKA another great entry-level role in the industry, this pay what you can training that John Strand is offering on March 28th through March 32nd is dynamite. Definitely take advantage of that. As Peter Parker mentioned, go check out last night's live stream on Simply Cyber. It's up there on replay. John goes through everything about what the class is, what you can expect, why it's amazing. It was good stuff. Hey, Paul, Janice, Nathan was there last night. He knows what's up. Pelon, good stream. Thank you. Appreciate that. Amadou, Chiller Instinct, my man. Guys, you've all been so instrumental in helping launch the GRC analyst course. God, that coffee's good. I don't even know the numbers, guys. We're like well over 1,000 people in the course now. I'm starting to see people mention stuff online. We did the vote yesterday for what the certificate of completion looks like. I ended up ultimately going with the border one. Guys, the community was fully split down the middle. I ultimately decided that the boxed one looked more traditional. I am a bit of a traditionalist, so hopefully you guys can get behind that. And if you voted for the header one, hopefully you're not too upset and you are willing to show off that certificate of completion. Hey, Eric Taylor, good to see you. Yeah, pot of coffee, man. Eric Taylor and I have been talking about some stream ideas too. I'm pretty pumped, guys. We got some big stuff coming. Roger Swanson, I saw your comment about the quiz question. I got to look at that, Roger. I felt pretty confident when I completed it, but that doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. Guys, another thing I really want to say, whoa, hold on. That's probably not ideal. Another thing I want to share is, hold on. Yeah. Another thing I want to share, guys, I haven't had a chance to say this. I want to say thank you to really all of the people who have joined the squad, joined the membership at Simply Cyber. Listen, you don't need to do this, but you choose to do this in order to support the channel and support some of the initiatives that I run. And I don't get to thank you all as often as I would like. So, even in the last week, you can see here, Pena, raffle winner, Jill Hope, Brian Sumbow, he's been awfully involved. Bill Green, Chiller Instinct, doing so much. Deb Nolzen, Travis Calloway. I really, really genuinely appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Okay, so let us go into the news stories of the day, guys. So if you want to play along, if you're new here and you don't know how it works, why can't I switch to what's going on here? I'm dealing with all sorts of, I told you the video issues was going to be a whole thing, guys. All right. Happy Friday. Exactly. Happy Friday's right. Brian, good to see you. We're about to dig in. So, guys, if you want to play along, go to cisoseries.com. That is where we do our David Spark and his gang gives us our stories. and allows us to do first things first. God, I really need to get this coffee going, guys. Forgive me for my stuttering. All right, so sit back, relax, and let's get into the news of the day.
Series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
It's Friday, March 18th, 2022. Ukraine Secret Service arrests hacker helping Russian invaders. The Security Service of Ukraine says it has detained a hacker who offered technical assistance to the invading Russian troops by providing mobile communication services inside Ukrainian territory. The anonymous suspect is said to have broadcast text messages to Ukrainian officials, including security officers and civil servants, proposing that they surrender and take the side of Russia. The individual has also been accused of routing phone calls from Russia to the mobile phones of Russian troops in Ukraine.
Okay, I mean, this is I feel like this particular story is only front page news because it has to do with the conflict. It has to do with kind of an uncommon situation where there is a Ukrainian helping the Russians, which kind of goes opposite of like what the mainstream is right now. But I guess it calls to a light of, if I may, insider threats. Effectively, this individual is on the inside of Ukraine, seen as a Ukrainian citizen, would have, I don't want to say access to Ukrainian stuff because I don't know who this person is, but obviously they're able to assist the Russian military. So this is more of an extreme example of insider threat. I guess that's really what I would say for this story. Yeah, it's fine. And they caught the person helping the Russian invaders, but it leads a bigger question of what is insider threat? How do we handle insider threat? Guys, the reason that we're able to address insider threat is, and I know it's going to be buzzword-ish, so please bear with me, but zero trust architecture really is one of the paradigm approaches to handling insider threat. I'm not saying you walk up to Janice today in accounting and like take her desk drawer out and dump it over and give her like a surprise inspection, like a drill instructor. But what it does mean is it's giving people only access to the things that they need access to, and being alert and cautious and conscious when things that their account shouldn't be accessing get accessed, right? Or large troves of data that they do have access to gets accessed or pushed off to a thumb drive, right? We do have techniques to see this type of activity, and that's why you do want to be cautious.
Warns of attacks targeting web help desk users. SolarWinds this week issued an alert to warn customers of potential cyber attacks targeting unpatched web help desk instances. The Web Help Desk solution provides a ticketing system, service and asset management capabilities, a centralized knowledge base, Active Directory integration, and more. SolarWinds notes in its alert, quote, a SolarWinds customer reported an external attempted attack on their instance of Web Help Desk 12.7.5. The customer's endpoint detection and response system blocked the attack and alerted the customer to the issue, end quote. SolarWinds recommends that Web Help Desk customers ensure that their WHD implementations can no longer be accessed from the internet, at least until the potential risks are assessed.
Okay, so this, again, like, all right. So SolarWinds is in the news again, right? SolarWinds had that major hack in, I want to say December of 2020. You can look it up if you don't know about it. In fact, if you don't know about it, I strongly encourage you look it up because it's probably one of the most elegant, one of the most like methodical, well thought out cyber attacks in the last 20 years at least. I'm not, again, I don't ever want people to think that I'm like celebrating threat actors' behavior, but just from a pure innovation, technique, execution perspective, I do hat tip. Like, it's impressive. And the SolarWinds attack a few years ago was brilliant. Now, this SolarWinds offers like a large enterprise solution. It covers all sorts of different things to help you manage IT. And help desk is a real IT need, right? People have problems. I can't log into my computer. The computer's blue screen. My printer doesn't work, right? So these are all real things. Now, SolarWinds offers this solution that allows you to manage help desk a little bit better, right? Now, people are trying to break into it. Be aware of that. Now, why on earth would you do that, guys? Think about this for a second. If you could get into this help desk system, you would have a mine of gold on users who are actively having specific issues that you could then fish them. Hey, Carl, saw that you had a printer issue yesterday. Not sure if it got resolved, but here's a hyperlink to get you set up. Boom, done. Like, you've established trust, authority. None of the flags go off there, right? With Carl in this instance. Or hey, just skim it until you find an executive. Doink. Business email compromise. You get money. You get money. You get money. Like, getting into a help desk ticketing system is probably not a bad target. We don't typically think of it as a crown jewel, but it depends. This is another thing I always tell my students, guys. Yeah, like, you can just like fire off some hacks or whatever, but really in 2022, like, what is the objective? You have to have an objective first, then you exercise the tools in your toolbox to get the objective. And if the objective is executing business email compromise to make a quick payday so you can pay for your trip to the Cayman Islands, well, then you're not going to go for this like grand 0-day exploit on like, or find some wicked buried bug in Microsoft Office. No, like, if you can get into a help desk ticket and fish the CEO or CFO, right? Boom. You might even see things in there like, damn it, help desk, I need this resolved because I'm out next week and this needs to be done. Boom. Like, you've already got the built-in urgency.
Russia faces IT crisis with just 2 months of data storage left. Russia's critical IT storage crisis comes after Western cloud providers pulled out of the country, leaving it with only 2 more months before they run out of data storage. The Russian government is exploring various solutions to resolve this IT problem, ranging from leasing all available domestic data storage to seizing IT resources left behind by businesses that pulled out of the country. Last week, the Ministry of Digital Development amended the 2016 Yarovaya law to suspend a yearly requirement for telecom operators to increase storage capacity allocation by 15% for anti-terrorist surveillance purposes. Another move that could free up space would be to demand ISPs abandon media streaming services and other online entertainment platforms that eat up precious resources.
Wow. Okay, so this is real. Okay. We don't like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I often think of data as not infinite, but like, thumb drives are cheap. Data is like, storage is cheap-ish, right? Relatively. Like, you need a thumb drive, you need an external hard drive, you need an SSD. You just buy it, like $50, $60, drop it in. I was at Costco the other day. It was like 5 terabytes for $90 or something stupid. I was like, what? So listen, we don't typically think about that, but now think about Russia in the current climate that they're in, with the current situation of all these vendors pulling out. They are, as a country, they are generating massive volumes of data. Like, you can point to so many different things that are generating data, but like, just to keep it in our cybersecurity world, since that's how we are and who we roll. Think about how many log files are being created guys, if you don't know, right? First of all, take John Strand's SOC core skills, but listen to me for a second. In order to be effective at detecting malicious behavior, intrusions, unauthenticated access, brute force attempts, all these things, you need log files. Log files take up space. It's just a fact. And if you don't have the log files, you cannot detect anything. Or once you detect it, maybe you have just-in-time detection, like something fires, you need to go back and look. That's what a SIM does. A SIM allows an analyst to easily look at correlated aggregated data sets to be able to figure out what the heck happened. If there's no data storage to save these things, you really are in there's like a storm coming and you're in a tiny boat in the ocean and your sail mast just broke in half. Like, you better get the oar and get going, man. And by the oar, I mean, like, you're just like wholesale deleting old stuff, repurposing memory. They said in the story that Russia may be appropriating storage from businesses that have left, right? We're hearing of all these businesses that are leaving, just like abandoned buildings. They definitely didn't take all their IT infrastructure with them. Now, they might be relying on the cloud quite a bit, but for the most part, there's going to be data there. But it's not a good problem. This isn't a good problem for Russia to have. I got to tell you that, by the way. Even if they had massive amounts of hard drives that like Accenture left over in the office building in downtown Moscow, you still need humans to go get the data drives, bring them to somewhere that you're going to use them, wipe them, format them, integrate them into your overall structure, make sure that the disks make sense for your ability to even like use them. It's not simple to fix. This isn't like popping out batteries from like you find a remote control and you pop out a couple batteries and jam them in your remote and you're back up and running. This is a tough problem, and one that most, frankly, I wouldn't have thought of as being an impending issue.
Microsoft creates tool to scan microtick routers for TrickBot infections.
Oh yeah.
Microsoft has released a scanner that detects microtick routers hacked by the TrickBot gang to act as proxies for command and control servers. TrickBot is a well-known malware botnet distributed via phishing emails or dropped by other malware that has already infected a device. Once executed, TrickBot will connect to a remote command and control server to receive commands and download further payloads to run on the infected machine. A report from Eclipsium highlighted last December that hundreds of thousands of microtick routers are still vulnerable to malware botnets several years after the vendor cautioned about the existence of critical flaws. Microsoft has now released a forensics tool named RouterOS-Scanner that network admins can use to scan microtick devices for signs that it was compromised by TrickBot.
Okay, so this is interesting. And by the way, like, shout out to the blog. Like, guys, if you're doing blog posts, like, I know obviously these are professional journalists, but if you're doing blog posts and stuff, I'm a sucker, and I think other people are too. Let me know in chat. Are you a sucker for like a really good visual depiction of what the heck is going on? Like, I would much rather look at this graphic for 60 seconds, wrap my head around what's going on, and then have a conversation with it. And yeah, I know there might be more detail in the thing, but I'm such a sucker for a good graphic. So basically, guys, long story short, it looks like Microsoft has released a tool that will allow you to detect microtick routers that have been hacked by TrickBot. A couple things. One, you have to have microtick routers in your environment. Okay, so if you have microtick routers in your environment, definitely check out this tool by Microsoft. I have to assume the tool is free. Okay. Second of all, microtick routers exposed to the internet. Oh, God. Okay, so listen, it does make sense that you would have microtick routers exposed to the internet. Okay, so I'm not saying Carl did it. Okay, but what I am saying is, do you see this right here? Steal device credentials, maintain persistence. Do you know how they're stealing device credentials? Okay, fact check me on this, but I'm pretty sure it's because they're default credentials or they just log in without credentials, guys. Like, microtick routers have been used in DDoS amplification attacks where like the microtick router on the internet get compromised and then used to target. This is a different situation where they're using the microtick routers in order to push C2 traffic so you can kind of distribute it around and not be obvious where your C2 server is. But I'm not under the impression, I haven't been made aware of any type of microtick vulnerability being exploited where you're basically compromising the microtick device. What I have heard with the DDoS attacks is it's been default creds, right? So yeah, the microtick botnet. Anyways, long story short, guys, if you have microtick routers in your environment, you should have already been aware because of the DDoS attacks last year and late in 2020. So you should already know about these. And if you're buying microtick routers, then you either have configuration management where you're configuring these correctly before you deploy them in your environment, or you should start ASAP on that.
And now a worm-linked botnet has ASUS in its sights. The Cyclops Blink malware is now targeting routers from hardware maker Asus, researchers said on Thursday, after first being discovered on Firebox devices from WatchGuard. Both manufacturers have issued security bulletins to customers, and CISA and other security agencies have linked the botnet to the state-backed Russian Advanced Persistent Threat Group known as Sandworm. Researchers at Trend Micro have so far not tied Cyclops Blink to any high-profile target, but they believe that its main purpose is to build an infrastructure for future attacks on high-value targets.
Yep. So not surprising. Quick shout out. There is a book called Sandworm, and I know people in chat have read it. I have not read it. It is on my reading list when I get free time, which may be in April. I have a little bit of time kind of slotted in April to do something like fun. And reading Sandworm would be good. So, I don't know. This isn't surprising, guys. Again, when I talked earlier about like having an objective, right? Usually it's like taking action on the objective, right? Like you want to denial of service the Bank of Ukraine. You want to, get credentials and then do business email compromise, whatever. With the more advanced persistent threats, sometimes it's about building an infrastructure, getting it in place. So when you're ready to execute on objectives, you may not even know what it is yet, but you're building out effectively capability so you can when you're ready. And that sounds like what they're talking about here, where the Cyclops Blink is being, kind of pushed around. What I find interesting, guys, and hey, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but I typically go back after the show and watch chat and read chat because it's hard for me to do it while I'm trying to process what I'm reading and give you my thoughts on it. But I find it interesting that they say that they haven't discovered any samples. I thought I saw the word samples. Yeah, unable to collect malware samples. So it's interesting. It's interesting that they're aware of this sandworm linked attacks and that Cyclops Blink is being done, but they don't have any malware samples. I guess I'll defer to the more advanced SecOps people or threat intel people in chat. Maybe Jack Scott's here today. Like, how do they have this data, this intel without samples? Like, I feel like that's how you get keyed off on the fact that this is happening. But interesting stuff nonetheless. Long story short, add Sandworm to your reading list. If you Google Sandworm cybersecurity, I'm sure the book will come up. I've heard wonderful things about it.
Misconfigured Firebase databases exposing data in mobile apps. Thousands of mobile apps, some of which have been downloaded tens of millions of times, are exposing sensitive data from open cloud-based databases due to misconfigured cloud implementations. This according to new research from Checkpoint. Checkpoint research also found that in just 3 months' time, over 2,000 mobile apps using the Firebase cloud-based database exposed data and, quote, left victims unprotected and easily accessible for threat actors to exploit, end quote. This was all published in a blog post from Checkpoint this week. They continue, quote, exposed information includes chat messages in popular gaming apps, personal family photos, token IDs on healthcare applications, data from cryptocurrency exchange platforms, and more, end quote.
Yep. So this is, God, man. Guys, we live in a world where there is a decentralization of software, right? Like we used to live in this world of monolithic software, right? You'd buy Microsoft Office, it would sit on your desktop, everything was packaged there. Your machine could be in a submarine without any network connectivity, and you could run Microsoft Office. 2022, we've got decentralized everything. You're pulling down repos from GitHub, whether or not you know what they are. You've got cloud storage on the back end, lightweight apps, very agile. You can be doing it on your phone and it gets thrown to your computer because it's almost like thin clients everywhere. Okay. Which is fine. The problem is if the back end pieces, and really all of the pieces, frankly, but if the back end pieces aren't being deployed correctly, AKA like get your S3 bucket here. I know these aren't S3 buckets, but it's the same concept. Like if those aren't configured correctly, you've got your hospital gown wide open, not tied off in the back, and your butt is in the wind. And that's what's going on here, people. So unfortunately, people aren't doing, like, I don't want to say third party risk management. People aren't analyzing whether or not this app is secure, right? You basically, if it's in the app store, you download it and you're like, yes, this is cool. And in the reality, you've got, sometimes small dev teams who are rapidly moving to push to production, to get to market. And things like this happen, frankly, and you don't discover it until someone else discovers it. And yes, they'll fix it, hopefully, but that you're already exposed, you're already compromised. So, again, data sensitivity, it's the boring stuff, guys. Okay. Like, I didn't get into this in the GRC analyst class, but another more advanced concept within the world of cybersecurity and GRC is information classification. And you see this in the government, like, really well done. But in reality, or I guess the government is reality, in private sector, corporate sector, we basically treat all information kind of the same. It's either internal or external, like public, right? Internal or public. And in reality, you really should be classifying your data. So how does that relate to this story, Jerry? What I'm saying is, if you don't mind your family photos possibly being exposed, right? Like in a data leak or something like that, then using a public, like using an app like Google Photos, right? I've got family photos in Google Photos, but I've made the conscious decision that, like, yeah, if that got breached, it would suck. And I actually back them all up to a hard drive locally. So if Google Photos got EMP'd, I'd still have my pictures. But if it got data leaked, I wouldn't be upset. When you hear about these individuals who are taking, like, inappropriate pictures, I think that the kids, I think younger people who are coming up with tech aren't really thinking of this. But I mean, if you're taking inappropriate pictures and you're saving them in like, and you're texting them to someone else, right? Those photos are stored on databases in the cloud, right? And if there's a compromise, that is a much more sensitive piece of data than me on a picnic with my family. So you understand why we would do information classification. You have more controls, the more sensitive the data gets as you go up. Again, this is more of an advanced GRC topic, but long story short, we'll see if any data got exposed, anything like that, but not good. People putting a lot of faith in the back end and just kind of happily going about their day.
Be ready to lose all your money in crypto, EU regulators warn. Consumers risk losing all their money invested in crypto assets and could fall prey to scams, said the European Union's security, banking, and insurance watchdogs in a joint statement on Thursday. It marks a ratcheting up of direct warnings to consumers about crypto assets from EU authorities, spelling out that consumers have no protection or recourse to compensation under existing EU financial services law. Regulators are increasingly worried that consumers are buying from the 17,000 different crypto assets, including Bitcoin and Ether, which account for 60% of the market, without being fully aware of the risks.
Okay. Hold on. I got a new sound effect, guys. I added it recently. Oh.
Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie. Randy Moss. I love it. 2017 Randy Moss. Or 2007 Randy Moss, excuse me. Guys, listen, there is like a rabid appetite for cryptocurrency and NFTs. In my opinion, guys, it's basically I don't want to call it an MLM or like a Ponzi scheme or something like this. It's definitely not that. And I know that there's some like crypto diehards in here. Charles Finfrock, one of them, right? Give me some Charles, please.
I'm a crypto evangelist. I love it, love it, love it.
Yeah. So we've got people who are strong on the crypto side and people who don't know any better. And I think what the EU is doing here is trying to do a public service by warning people, hey, listen, you have no assurances of return on investment. Okay. You see these pictures on Instagram of people driving Bentleys and stuff, talking about their crypto, right? And we hear about these multi-million-dollar breaches of stolen crypto, people doing SIM swapping. We read about yesterday where you get the crypto wallet. Yes, there's a lot of money in crypto, but you've got to remember, people, the value of a Bitcoin or whatever, Ethereum, any of these tokens, right? It's so speculative. It's so speculative. And for every one person you see driving a Bentley, there's 1,000 that are like, oh crap, like that where's my money, right? And even in stock market, you don't have any like assurances of anything, but it's a wild world right there. All I would say is good on the EU for doing this public service. The United States should be doing it as well. I will point out, people, that there is massive fraud going on in the NFT space right now. I recently did some research personally on NFTs, and I know like Neil Bridges is big on NFT and BSEC is big on NFT, and there's all these NFT stuffs. But guys, listen, there is massive fraud on NFT. Anyone can coin an NFT, and with nothing behind it. You can copy and paste a roadmap. You can copy and paste a white paper, mint it, and off you go. One of these big YouTubers, Logan Paul or Paul Logan or whatever his name is, whatever his name is. Look at what that guy's doing. Google his name and crypto fraud. It's ridiculous. There's a lot of people losing a lot of money. So I just sincerely appreciate that they're doing this. And be careful out there, people. Just as a non-cybersecurity pro tip, like just be careful. It's very easy to get whipped up into FOMO about missing that golden ticket, that rocket moonshot. But for the most part, it's for every dollar someone spends into an NFT, there's someone getting that dollar, right? Like it's a one-to-one transaction. So if you're the one losing the dollar, that means someone else is getting it, right? Or if you're getting the dollar, that means you're taking it from someone else, right? So this isn't about crypto or NFTs or anything like that. I did some research on it. I recommend you do your own research. There's rampant fraud in that space right now.
Microsoft data center to heat homes in Finland.
There we go.
Microsoft and Finland's largest energy company have partnered to build a new data center near Helsinki that will heat homes as it cools servers. Microsoft and Fortum made the announcement yesterday, Thursday, after several years of development, with the final location chosen specifically for the purpose of moving waste data center heat via existing water pipes to homes and businesses in the surrounding cities of Helsinki. The technique used is called district heating, which involves hot water or steam pumped from a central source through insulated pipes that feed radiators. Though this technique is common in much of Europe, in the US it is used mostly institutionally in places like college campuses or government complexes.
I love it, right? Like as we go more green energy, conservative energy, this is just like a fun story, right? So data centers, they've got major technology going on. Some of these like larger, since we're just talking about crypto, some of these larger crypto mining facilities, they're pumping out massive heat. The reason, people, really quick, if you don't know, the reason that it's expensive to mine crypto and it costs, like your return on investment for mining, unless you're mining it at scale, isn't good, because the amount of energy you have to consume in order to generate potentially a token of some sort. If you're doing it wholesale, there's a lot of energy, guys. If you've ever been in a data center, like hands up, who's been in a data center before? The air conditioners are blasting. You normally have to wear a coat in there. Do you know why? Because the servers are furnaces. They're generating massive amounts of heat. And in order for those systems to not physically melt, right? I'm being a little hyperbolic, but for physically overheat, you need to keep them wicked cold, right? So if you've ever worked in a data center, you probably own a nice winter jacket, right? It doesn't matter if you live in, Ecuador. So whatever. I'm glad to see that this initiative is going to help people, reuse energy and possibly, work towards green stuff. So good on Microsoft. Good on, the Finland. Hopefully this sets a precedent.
It's Friday, and you know what that?
I do know what that means. It is Friday, and we are absolutely crushing it, people. Guys, that is going to do it for today's First Things First. We made it to Friday, March 18th. Love it. I got to definitely start saying the date again. Guys, I have a programming note real quick, okay? I want to talk about the analyst class, but before people start peeling out of here, Monday, March 21st, there will not be a first things first. Like, I should have warned you guys. Get some tissues. This is going to be a hard one for some of us. Monday, March 21st, I'm traveling. I won't be able to do first things first. I thought about delegating it out, but it just, I don't think it would work. So we will meet Tuesday. Spring break's over. Tuesday, March 22nd is the next first things first. It will be at 10 a.m. Back to the regular university spring semester schedule, guys. If you go to simplycyber.io/FTF, the bottom hyperlink there, it'll take you to the upcoming live stream so you can see that, okay? I want to make sure everyone knows that. Now, really quick, we do have GRC Analyst Masterclass vouchers to give away. We're going to raffle off the final 4 compliments of Barricade Cyber Solutions. Sincerely appreciate Eric Taylor and the whole team over at Barricade donating those licenses. So let me, I should have done this before. Let's get the hashtag GRC up and running, guys. Giveaways, keyword, hashtag GRC. Boop, 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 boop. Only enter once, please. Only enter once. Go ahead and hit hashtag GRC while I continue to talk a little bit about a couple different things that are going on. Ghost Rash, Devin Bolin, I see you. All right, good. Guys, if you don't know, hopefully you do know, this Monday I released a GRC Analyst Masterclass. Please share it with your network, guys. I have seen, I don't get to see everything for different reasons, but listen, what I have seen, people's comments, people's opinion, people's reflections of the course have been roundly positive. I actually haven't seen any negative feedback. Now, I might be living in an echo chamber where no one wants to tell me it sucks or tell me that the emperor has no clothes, but I don't know. I put a lot of thought into it. I was very deliberate, just like with the Cybersecurity Master Plan book. I was very deliberate about what I did and how I made this course. So if you are enjoying it, you're taking it right now, thank you so much. If you haven't looked at it, maybe you'll win a raffle prize right now and you can go check it out. But if you have, please share it with your network and let them know it's out there, guys. It's pay what you can. So if anybody's interested in GRC, there's no reason that they can't get access to this course at a price point that makes sense for them. Thank you, Carrie. Yeah, see, Carrie's learned a lot already from the class. A lot of us. Okay, so let's get the raffle going, y'all. We're going to be doing 4. This is compliments of Barricade Cyber Solutions. Music by The Roots. Ready? Our first winner is... Hold on, I got to get a pen. Got to get a pen, people. All right, here's a pen. Okay, good luck to all the contestants. Happy Friday. First winner is Video Meals. Video Meals is our first winner. Good job, Video. All winners, please connect with me on Discord after the stream, and I will get you what you need. Next winner is Silent Phoenix Gray. Nice. I like the X-Men reference. Congratulations, Silent Phoenix Gray. Next winner, Jellied Seal. Jellied Seal is our 4th winner. And our final winner of the week, rounding it out, good luck to you, Randy Hamilton. Nice job, Randy. Right under the deadline. Randy Hamilton. Congratulations to all our winners. Guys, definitely go over to Discord and ping me, DM me, whatever. Hit me up on LinkedIn if that's more your speed. And I will get you what you need. Again, thank you to Barricade Cyber Solutions for their generous donation of these licenses to all of us. Guys, we made it to Friday. My sounders are, yes, there we go. We made it to Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Again, the next time we'll talk will be Tuesday at 10 a.m. I genuinely appreciate all of you. I hope you have a good weekend. Relax, rest up, do the things you care about. Tell the ones you love that you love them. We'll talk on Tuesday, everybody. Have a good one. Cheers.